Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. So, today we have no new content this weekend, so it's a good time to go catch up on everything. So the main thing we're going to be doing today is doing all the maps for the event objective, which I've barely even touched other than a few maps I've ran throughout the week, like 2, maybe 3, but maybe 4 actually if we had got 13. But yeah, this is one of our main objectives for today, is just to get this done this stream. Should be pretty easy. It takes like an hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll be throwing that in here and there. The rest of the time is probably going to go to PvP, because I still haven't done 1.9k yet, oddly enough. Plus, we have a daily for it, so might as well get it done. We get another 15 gems on top of it, so quite a bit extra reward for doing something we're already pretty much going to do. And other than that, since we didn't get any new content, good time to go catch up on old content. And one of those things is going to be leveling this Frostmage. Currently at 86, we do want to get that to level 100, so we can start using Thief and other stuff again. But yeah, I got to work towards getting that higher. So those are pretty much all the main things we'll have, and we'll have a redeem code at some point. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And we'll be streaming tomorrow morning too, just basically grinding out probably not the last of Frostmage, but a good decent chunk of the rest of it. Most likely try to get it to like 95 or so. Definitely at least to 90. We should almost have that by the end of today. But anyways, let's go and let's actually start in PvP, because we'll be in maps for a while once we start doing that. But let's mess around just with some keys. Mainly just need to get this level, just want to get the gold off of this. So of course we're using Frostmage at the moment, still trying to get that up. Oh no, no audio. Oh. Wait, what? There should be audio. Wait, is there no audio? There should be audio. Is anyone else having no audio? Okay, yeah, it was just on your end. I was gonna say, everything's working perfectly fine. Because I checked the little thingy before I started. I don't always do, but I did this time. Okay, I'll take the red. Also, hello everyone. Hello Techni. Hello Pandemonium. Hello Elite. Hello Churros. Hello GZG. Hello Overfiend. Hello Demon Angel. Hello Cujo. Hello Jamie, and hello everyone else. Welcome. Ha! No audio on my stream is an improvement. Stop trolling. Your audio is in Russian. Hello, Chris Border. Welcome. I might as well just take 3 trophies every single time. We need to get all the rating anyways. Doesn't take that long at all. Assuming we can actually kill the 3 trophies, that is. There are so many annoying teams out there these days on 3 trophy. It's one of the reasons I don't even have PvP done yet. I just like avoiding it sometimes. I don't think PvP defense have ever been more annoying than they currently are right now. They're manageable, they're just very annoying compared to other pieces of content within the game. Even Guild Wars is less annoying. Oh, did I? Oops. I was gonna say, how on earth did that not kill? It's because we didn't throw the second gold fail. Not that big a deal, as long as he doesn't die to death marks. There we go, okay, we're fine. See, if that was Titan, we wouldn't have had to deal with that death mark. And he just dies. There we go. At least that way he can't mispronounce things. Oh no, I'll still manage to find a way to mispronounce things, don't you worry. We will always find a way. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. We are frozen. Means we do not get the extra turn, of course. Let's get the whole board cleared. Go for the hit. Not going to bother golding again because we are frozen on it. He'll hit us with barriers. I'm going to use this just to get rid of his barriers so that we get an extra turn off of this, and then just go right back into a cast, which also gets rid of this barrier. And that's match. Oh, I actually did have that happen. I almost failed sign language in college. for two reasons. One is it was almost the hardest teacher in the entire school. Like she was like really, really hard. That could have been an English class and I probably would have almost failed her. But other than that, I am really bad with visuals. Like I knew I already was bad at that. I just didn't realize until I took that class like how bad I am at following things visually. It was pretty awful. I don't know how I managed to get past that class, but I did. Yeah, I have tried learning it before. I find it to be interesting. I can never actually like fully learn it though. I don't have good enough hand-eye coordination to ever fully learn it. Hello, Ruts. Welcome. I did do pretty good during school, though. Not so much college, but like middle school, high school, or just all school. Pretty much all A's or all A's, B's, pretty much always. I was actually friends with the person that made second overall in my class. I forget what that's called specifically. She almost would have made first, but she had a lot of extracurricular activities that kind of made her not get it. Like we were in marching band together and other stuff like that. So she was a lot busier than the other guy that got first overall. What do we take here? We'll take the Browns. Get enough key. How did I not kill? Okay, we'll just go for that. And probably throw the other key there. Actually, we'll just take Skull Line up. And then it goes. Yeah, Salatorian. What's that team? Oh, I haven't seen someone actually use Bronze-Lock Pistol for a while. That weapon does still exist, and it is still amazing. Everyone just uses key pretty much these days, but that doesn't make Bronze-Lock Pistol any less viable. Should have grabbed a second order. I've already gone through like 3 this morning. I've been up for like 2 hours. I've already gone through 3 orders. Also went for a walk this morning, so that might have been why. Kind of thirsty afterwards. What did I play in bands? Percussion. Mostly mallets, but just generally all percussion. Like in pep band, I ended up doing either snare or bass drum, and for everything else, I was mainly just mallet-related percussion, as well as just any general percussion, but mainly mallets. Things like xylophone, marimba, and various things like that. Never really was good at piano, though, even though it's the same kind of general premise. You use the Dragon Soul and Triple Azurus for 1 hour and achieve 30k souls. That sounds about right. Yeah, 30,000 is about the highest you can get without Ferris Ra. Then it bumps up to like 40 or 50,000, and then with 2 it bumps up to like 50 to 60,000 or so, give or take. Definitely a solid 50,000. Yeah, 30k per hour is still really decent. Why'd I do that? We didn't even need any of that. Not a single bit. We'll throw that down and dip. But yeah, that's how I ended up getting this name. I think I said the story multiple times. But other than doing marching band and pep band, I also used to do solo competitions. I was only particularly good in it in middle school because in high school I had a bunch of other things going on too. But one of the what is he doing? I'm like trying to say this story and he's just completely obliterating us. Wait, let me focus for a second, and then we'll have story time again. Team, where are you? Okay, we'll throw that down. Oops, why did I not take that skull? Hopefully we had that turn sitting there still. Okay, we need to find Brown. Well, casting greed is going to be pointless, but we'll take that for now. We'll let him have a skull just because it gives us brown. Take that one first. Wait, that was enough damage to kill? Okay. Well then, anyways. But yeah, how I got the name Tacet was actually from solo competition. They have ended up doing it for mallet percussion, but basically you just go into this room, you have to go play a bunch of sheet music, you have to go play a bunch of the skills things, and you have to have like this little term quiz. And a lot of those words are words that you would almost never really use in any other context. It's like a sheet of several hundred words that the normal person would never really bother knowing. All like really in-depth musical terms. And one of those randomly was Tacet one day. And I wasn't really studying much because I had other things to study for in school at the time. So I just kind of went in there cold turkey and just like winged it. And I got every single one correct except for Tacet. And I think it ended up making me get second instead of third. I mean, instead of first or something like that. Whatever it was, it made me go down a rank because I missed like that one term. And it just means silence, but yeah, that kind of became my nickname because I was always pretty quiet, introverted, and all that. So I still am, but less so than before. But I was like really that way through my childhood. But yeah, so that basically became my nickname in high school, and it kind of just stuck ever since, pretty much. And I still use it today. In PvP, what banner? For what team? Oh, you wouldn't use that team in PvP. The Dragon Soul Triple Azarus. You only use it on, well, if you want to use it effectively, you only use it on First Challenge Divinian Fields on Warlord 2 difficulty. That's how you run it. I would not really advise that in PvP. It'd be way too slow. So what's with all these teams actually winning against us? Okay, we'll get another hit down. Get all the mana we need. Oh yeah, we used to be on the leaderboard for Total Renown. The reason why we're not is we're currently camping the Warrens, which is why we don't currently have leaderboard total. I'm camping Warrens in order to get a bunch of extra loot. Because I'm trying to accumulate a bunch of extra treasure. I'm also trying to get all of the troops for all of them, all of the factions, which I still haven't done yet. I'm also trying to accumulate a bunch preemptively for the new faction that's coming out in next Friday. Oh, I didn't even mention that yet. How do we keep failing? Okay, I need to actually focus on the game. But anyways, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, we're not on the leaderboard anymore because we're farming Warrens. And I'm farming Warrens because next faction is particularly relevant. That's actually what we're accumulating all of our resources for, is the new Bleed troops are coming in next Friday. Not today, but 1 week from today, we will be getting the new faction. So do need to make sure we have a pretty competent amount of resources for that, of shards, so that we can get them all immediately. Because I do want to have 2 copies of Mythic of the new legend when it ends up getting released. And we have 1 week to go accumulate that. Hopefully we'll have several thousand shards by then. But yeah, we were at one point like top 5 on the Total Renown leaderboard. Right now, I'm probably not even top 100 because I'm not doing it for this current faction. We're currently sitting at 110 on the most recent faction. Yeah, hoarding is stronger than leaderboarding, pretty much. We got another pet. I have no clue why. Almost every pet in the last like 2 weeks has been a repeat. I think I've gotten 2 pets or 3 pets in the entirety of the last 2 weeks that haven't been a repeat, as in something that I already have maxed. Really unlucky with them lately. I sometimes don't even really bother checking them anymore just because I feel like it's going to be a repeat every time. Just because of how consistently it has been. Of course, that has no correlation to it actually being a repeat every time, but it sure feels like it. Hey, a treasure room. Could you imagine if we actually got a vault key off it? I don't even know what the chances off the a vault key for it off the event. I want to say 1 in 30, but I feel like it's even less than that. get rid of the barrier. We'll do this just in case it's not enough damage. We'll do this to get rid of barrier again. Luckily that's full. No, it's not, but we can do that. Now it's full mana. Now he's dead. Oh, come on, let's go. There we go. 1 gem key. Well, he dropped a key, not the key I was looking for, but still better than nothing. It's 9 gems. 1 less gem key. Oh, also that reminds me. Next Friday is also a mythic, so that gem key is going right towards the mythic coming out next Friday. It's a pretty useless mythic, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a mythic. That should be enough to kill because of that skull. Enough to still would have killed the other one regardless. Nice. And it's man. You set up before to farm delves, but then forgot to do them. So you just max them now? Yeah, that can happen sometimes. That's what I was doing originally. But then I started farming this one just because Warrens is so ridiculously good for farming. I don't know why they made this most recent delve just so perfect for that, but they did. They made it really hard to go deep in, and they made it really effective to farm. I don't know why specifically they made it like that, but they did. Because it has the highest amount of rooms required to get to the end. It has 4 battles in order to finish it. Whereas most other delves are... oh wait, did I say 4? I mean 5. It has, right, 5? 1... Yeah, 5 battles. Because you have the starting room, you have the 3 to get there, and then you have the final room. Most other delves are only 2 or 3. I mean, are only 3 or 4, I mean. It's the first and only that has a 5 requirement to get to the ends. Which is basically the entire delve at that point. That's more than half the delve required to get to the ends. The second week playing and already fully clearing pet challenge is very nice with Skeleton Key. Any advice for getting Cedric though? We just recently had a vault event. You'll see another one in a couple weeks. But vault events are the easiest way to get a Cedric Sparkle Stack, and pretty much one of the only ways, because that's when you'll be able to accumulate a lot of vault keys. Basically, once a month for an entire weekend, there's an event that occurs that increases the chance of finding gnomes, as well as specifically finding vault keys from those gnomes for a duration of time, for 3 days, from Friday until Monday reset. But that only occurs once a month. It just occurred last weekend, actually, so it's probably still another 3-4 weeks before we see it again. But whenever that does occur, it's the best time to try to get a Cedric, because you'll be able to get a lot of vault keys, and one of the biggest drops off of vault keys, or at least initially if you currently have 0 of them, is getting a Cedric. There's a bunch of other great loot that you can get too, but within about 10 to 20 vault keys, probably about 10, you'd most likely see a Cedric drop. But that's about the only way to get them. I believe you could also technically get it off a legendary task, but given that you only have 2 weeks into the game, I'm pretty sure you're not in a guild yet getting to legendary tasks. Even if you were, the chance of getting it specifically from that's very low. The only real viable way is, of course, finding in a vault key. You can get vault keys when it's not a event, though. You can get it from things like raids, invasions, bounty hunter. Though I don't think bounty hunter is that viable that early on in the game. And as a newer player, you're probably not in a guild that's getting far enough in raids or invasions yet. But it is possible to get it from there. Let me go see. Good morning, Blue. Let me go double check. When would you get it off this current event? But yeah, you can get it off the event that's going on right now, actually. Or at least one of them. Invasions, rewards. Oh, we're already done. I don't even need to go do, we don't even need to go do invasions today. We're already done. Or they will be by the time tonight comes. But yeah, you need to reach stage 7, and it has a guaranteed vault key. That's not a guaranteed chance it'll have Cedric in it, but it does have a chance that you would get a Cedric. But yeah, stage 7, I think a smaller guild could end up getting that. Well, it depends how small your guild is, but that's manageable. Unless you get an orb along the way. You shouldn't be the only one doing it, but I'm pretty sure if everyone chips in your guild, you'll be able to reach it pretty easily. That's not too far in there. Anyways, let's finish up PvP. I still haven't even gotten 1.9k. And then we need to go do a bunch of maps. Or at least work towards doing a bunch of maps. If not necessarily getting them all done right now. That's the only other bad thing about maps. We don't get any hero HP. Not even just the class HP, but also just base HP in general. We don't even get. Oh, did we just die already? What's going on here? Luckily, it's not over yet. All we have to do is throw another key down. Yeah, we're 1 mana short. Well, 1 mana is in 1 brown. So not technically 1 mana. He does not have enough skull damage to kill us right here. That's good. Okay, we have key and dead. Almost dead. Now he's dead. But yeah, basically just getting more Vault Keys is the only way then. And that's just a lock on if you get him from it. Also, hello Haley, hello Chad, welcome. And hello Yumiku. And if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. Make sure to go over them. You have him the Mythic with 16 copies? Yeah, I think I'm sitting on 11 Cedric copies right now. Mythic and 11 copies spare. You eventually get a ridiculously large excess of him. But he's really valuable the first few times you get him, particularly the first 2 times. And especially the very first. There's no team that realistically uses more than 2 of him though. And the only thing that would ever really use 3 is Bronze Lock Pistol with triple Cedric. So that's not really viable for anything. It's too slow. Sure, unrelated questions are also fine. What is your unrelated question? You had High King Iron Gut drop, and you're using Mountain Crusher, the King, Rock Troll, and Stargazer. Super fun team. Oh yeah, that ends up working. I think I made something somewhat similar initially. But yeah, you can easily do that. Use it with we use it with Titan. Get your browns immediately. Throw down Mountain Crusher. That'll almost give full Rock Troll. Then you throw Rock Troll into the Brown Storm. Get perpetual browns. And then you just keep casting the Devour into, that's it. Just keep casting Devour. And Stargazer gives it a little bit extra attack, so you have over 50% chance of devouring. Yeah, we're going to take this yellow just so we get a skull. And then we kill it off of that. And then we get our mana back. Except there's no way to go get our mana back, so we'll just do that. Oh no, he moved us. We'll take our red, get our destroy. Should hopefully be enough to get Titan up. I mean, to get key up. And almost dead. Gotta do it again. As long as it doesn't gain barrier from something, it should be okay. But then again, it can't even gain barrier. It's using Frostmage currently. There's nothing that gains barrier. Nor does the weapon. Fastest way to farm Celestials other than crafting. The only quick way of getting it is spam Explore over and over and over again. Doesn't matter which one. Just keep doing it over and over again until you have them all that you need. It's about a what am I saying? It's a 3% chance approximately that you would end up getting Celestial from a Explore battle. Normally it's only around 1% or so that you would get it. So it's slightly higher in, it's about 3 times higher in Explore. We're entangled, but we still gain gold from that, luckily. So we'll do that. So it somehow does not get a kill. Gains even more durability. We got max gold now, though. That's still not going to be enough to kill those other 2. You're using in PvP Titan with Pistol, Zephyrus, Leprechaun, and King Bloodhammer. Yeah, it ends up working out pretty well. Yeah, Leprechaun in particular is really good synergy with Bronze Lock Pistol. You basically have perpetual immediate mana off of it, plus it beats it to gold. And one thing that's nice about Bronze Lock Pistol that Skeleton Key isn't good at is Bronzelock Pistol does not require a ridiculously high amount of gold. Not only do you not need a gold bonus troop, but you can literally just run Bronzelock and it would be all the gold you'd need. Or you could run Leprechaun and just give it a little bit of assistance, but you don't need like a Cedric or anything like that. Even at low gold, Bronzelock Pistol does work properly, whereas Skeleton Key absolutely requires having that higher gold if it wants to function, and there's no other way around it. Ow. 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 Did you just like one turn our entire team? Ouch, that skull spam hurts. Your favorite class is Glass Cannon Warlock. I think Glass Cannon Assassin is about the strongest Glass Cannon there is for hero classes. The problem is it's so flimsy that it's normally not viable to use. Is it more efficient to farm souls from Divining Fields with a chance at Celestials, or just farm Celestials and explore and then soul farm? That depends. How badly do you need souls and how badly do you need Celestials? If you have an immediate need for Celestials, you probably want to do explore. But if you don't currently have an immediate need and you're still trying to do the soul farm, I would say soul farm and just let them grow passively over time. Yeah, I'd probably say soul farming. But it depends how immediately you need Celestials. You have over 3,000 Celestials. I still haven't even hit over 1,000 yet. But you have been playing, like, excessively. Wait, have you reached over level 2,000 yet? Yeah, you have, haven't you? What level are you these days? I know you're still the highest level in the entire game. I just haven't checked to see what level you are. Yeah, I think I'm sitting at, like, 700 something. We'll reach 1,000 eventually, hopefully before they add a Trait Stone Sync, just to say we finally reached 1,000. Let's see. Yeah, 1,000. Let's see, what's our current number? We're currently sitting on 736 Celestials, so almost 750. Almost 3/4 the way there. We're getting there. Wow, that's a ridiculously high level. Are you, like, legitimately trying to get 10,000? I'm pretty sure you're still, like, 5 years away, if not more, from 10,000. Probably even more. It takes absolutely forever. I don't think they realistically ever thought anyone would actually reach it. Ever. Hello, Lamar. Welcome. Is there a level cap? Yes and no. The level cap is 10,000, but it keeps taking more and more EXP the further you go, and it takes like 10 years to reach level, if not more, to reach level 10,000. Probably even more. It's near impossible to actually do. Even if you play 12 hours a day, I think it takes upwards of 10 years in the current state of the game. And Tekna is the highest level in the game at level 2,116. Oh, I needed that mana. Okay, luckily he didn't actually silence our main troop, so we just do that. We don't get our turn because we're frozen. And I should almost kill it. And then we just do that and then instead. Oh wait, never mind. Our 5 damage took it out. And there's our 15 gems for just doing a bunch of PvP. in like 3 more battles, and we'll have all of our points we need as well for 1.9k. Oh, you're not trying for EXP anymore. Yeah, that makes sense. Just because of how ridiculously hard it is. But of course, almost everything gives EXP, so even if you're not trying for EXP, you're still technically gaining EXP. It's not as much as you would be if you were actually EXP farming. There are specific methods to EXP farm in this game. They're not really that viable, though, because the absolute best one barely gives any other resources other than EXP. And it's basically challenge farming on higher difficulties, where you just one-shot the entire battle and just keep repeating it over and over again to farm EXP. But it gives almost no other reward other than EXP, so it's very rarely done by anyone. I should make a Twitter? No, I'm not a huge fan of social media. I made a Facebook a while back because people were asking me to make a social media just to kind of post things, but now I like barely use it ever. I am not a huge fan of social medias at all. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Hey, there's a Celestial. We're almost there. Almost to 750 Celestials. And this will be the final battle we need for 1.9k. And then we can go do maps. Yay! No, we're not going to do maps literally the entire time, but it is going to be realistically a decent chunk of this stream. Hello, Medieval. Welcome. Because I'm not ending this stream until we're done with all the map requirements for the week. And then we'll probably have some time. Wow, 2 Celestials in a row. And then we'll probably have some time to mess around with like a delve or something. Also, that gem stack's starting to really increase. Almost at 23k again. Which I forgot what the highest number we ever had there is. I think it was 30 or 40 something thousand, but that was in the previous economy of the game. In the current economy of the game, I believe that the current amount of gems I have right now is the highest amount of gems I've ever had, ever since they nerfed gems. But anyways, let's go do maps. So of course we have like a ridiculous amount of maps we need to go do. Not really, but we need to go do that many in order to get all those loots. So yeah, let's go work towards that. As far as treasure hunt is concerned, pretty easy strategy. You just go from one side to the other, and that's basically it. You take it from one side to the other just so that you can immediately take a move, and you basically don't pay any attention to anything else other than just trying to find the move as quickly as possible, and that will get you this event done. We can pretty much just ignore extra turns. The only time we kind of want to go for them is when we know our score is about to get close to a what's it called? Something divisible by 10. We'd want to try getting it a little bit further just so that we can preserve it. Because if we get, like, let's say 29, all that extra 9 does absolutely nothing. So we do want to make sure we, like right now, we want to make sure we get at least 1 extra turn. Otherwise, we're going to stop at 39. And if we do, that entire extra 9 basically does nothing. And apparently we're about to have that happen. Okay, there we go. We got an extra turn right at the end. So now I want to deliberately end the map as quickly as possible without taking any extra turns. Otherwise, they're just a waste of time. Like that 1 extra one we had right there does nothing, that 1 extra turn. But the 40 actually counts for our 4. And of course, we'll get a bunch of gems along the way, which is nice. Oh yeah, I don't even need the controller. All this just uses the what's it called? The mouse. Normally I would need the controller for A inputs, but there's almost like no A inputs other than right at the end of the map. Let's see. You see me using Frostmage a lot, but you don't know why. I'm trying to level Frostmage. That's why we're using Frostmage a lot. It's not really used offensively for much. But it is used defensively for Guild Wars on a couple days, and I believe there is one specific team that I run for defend that does have an elemental on it, so it does technically gain some benefit from being at level 100. Generally, you would only need to get Frostmage to level 70 though. The benefit it gets from 100 is, excuse me, is very, very minuscule, to the point that it's pretty much not worth getting to 100. But because I already have pretty much every viable hero class leveled already, I might as well. try getting it up some. But yeah, Frostmage is only pretty average, but it is ran for defend occasionally. And that's why we're getting it up, because ever since they added the ability to set it, it's become a lot more viable for guild wars and stuff. But yeah, the class overall is pretty underwhelming. Titan's definitely better than it, though then again, that's in the case of almost everything. Titan's better. Okay, where are all of our moves? We'll take that, take that. There we go. Oh, we fell one short. Fail. Wasn't paying attention. So many cascades. Okay. Grab that over. Grab the other one. Let's see. Hello, Max. Welcome. How do you know specific drop rates for various loot? We've had data on it in the past. Also, some people look at the files. I don't know some of the more updated versions of stuff, though, because I don't specifically ever check the files. But there are people that do. So some of the drop rates, I'd say, might be slightly off, because they do occasionally change them slightly over time. I don't think we're going to be able to get enough extra turns there. Oh, no, we will. Nice, okay. Yes, enough. Okay, now we just skip every single one of these turns. Doesn't matter where we do, as long as we don't get an extra turn. Gotta deliberately not take them. And there we go. You have Warden 85, since Spear 42, Oracle 41 to finish. Very nice. It's pretty much completed then. Yeah, I still have a lot of hero classes to finish. I haven't been in any rush to get them done. But we are currently working on Frostmage. Well, not literally right now, but you know, it's what our current project as far as leveling is Frostmage. Obviously doing trigger maps gives 0 XP though, unfortunately. Not a single bit of EXP. Not for your class, not for your hero, not for anything. One of the many reasons why no one in the late game ever does it. There's a lot of reasons. And just resources overall are just awful. Just late in the game for it. But still, it's a decent game mode. Wish they would add more from the Puzzle Quest series to this thing. That, or hopefully they're at least planning something nice for the Puzzle Quest series for when they finally release it. There's almost guaranteed chance they're working on Puzzle Quest 3 right now. They never officially stated it, but they probably are. It is very, very likely. Also, they haven't released the game for a while now, I don't believe. I think they did like Tiny Quest, if I'm not mistaken, but it completely flopped. So they're probably going to try doing Puzzle Quest 3, because that's something that's definitely not going to flop. Especially with how good Gems of War has been doing, because they have yet to release a Match 3 game since Gems of War. And it's been, how many years now? 4? Yeah, 4. Why do I keep forgetting how many years it's been? But, yeah, it's been a while. And they haven't released a single Match 3 game other than this.
Extra turn.
Yeah, they are planning another Puzzle Quest. They've just kind of been keeping it, like, under cover. Like, they don't want to, like, officially, like, announce too much with it or anything. Because it's probably still deep in development. But yeah, give it another year, we'll probably see Puzzle Quest 3. Hopefully it's better than Puzzle Quest 2. Puzzle Quest 1 was basically perfect. They just need another Puzzle Quest 1. we preserve enough turns? Probably not. No. Oh, we had a 5-time sitting there right there, too. Unfortunate. Oh, we got 2 gems from the red chest. Nice. There we go. Progress. Don't really need that many gems, but oh well. It's still nice to see. That or glory. Those are like the only 2 main rewards we need. Gems and glory in this game mode. That and just getting event gems, of course. That's a whole different thing. Unrelated to loot.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Ah, too short. Should grab that extra turn. Anytime I try doing it like super quick, I keep not paying attention at all to that. And that's actually slightly bad because it's worth it to spend like that extra 10 seconds to try getting that 1 extra point.
Extra turn.
Otherwise we just lose all those other turns we just did. Making them pointless. Okay, now we just end it. Oops, as I do the wrong move. Actually, no, that was correct. Take that, end it with that. Boom. There we go. Oops, store turn. Oops, I didn't mean to take that. No, it's wasting time. There we go. Well, Puzzle Quest 1 did get some DLC. And there was a mod for it, too. But other than that, it never really got updates. Unfortunately. As long as Puzzle Quest 3 is more like Puzzle Quest 1, it should be fine. It's more like Puzzle Quest 2, then that's really unfortunate, but I don't think it will be. Well, we'll have to see. But even if it does go more down the route of what Puzzle Quest 2 did, it won't be awful. This won't be as good. The biggest issue I feel like with Puzzle Quest 2 is it dragged on too long. And it was a lot less fun and intuitive than Puzzle Quest 1. Like, it felt like you were actually like moving around and traveling in Puzzle Quest 1, and had a lot of really good mechanics and a lot of really good mini games. Some of them were really broken mechanics and combinations. But that's part of the fun, was trying to figure them out. Puzzle Quest 2 actually was a bit more balanced, though, overall. But that's not necessarily a good thing in a single-player game. Why'd I take that for? We already are at the turn limit. Yep, same as that. That was pointless. And there we go. What class should you upgrade after Titan and Thief, and why? That depends heavily on what you want to get, because everything beyond that point is pretty much whatever you want. I'd probably say Rune Priest, just because it has a decent effectiveness on Red Guild War Day. That's like the only thing it's really used for, unfortunately. It is pretty nice for it. As far as hero classes that you would actually bother using in PvP, I would probably say maybe Dragon Guard. It still doesn't have half mana start, which is the biggest thing holding it back. But it is the most consistently tanky hero class at 40% score reduction.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
But it depends heavily on what you actually want to use. Because everything beyond Titan and Thief is really just situational. In very, very specific situations. As far as when you would actually bother bringing them out. And you would barely ever even use them. It just depends on what function you want to try getting. Which would be the one you would actually want to use. Good morning, Brian. Welcome. Yeah, currently we're trying to get the map event done. We, of course, do have that this week, and it does give a lot of loot, so definitely advise doing it. A lot of gems sitting there. There's like 90 gems, plus all the ones you get from the maps themselves, which is easily over 200 gems for just doing it. So might as well do it. That's a lot of gems. Even with a stack of 23,000 almost, we're still doing it, because it is a lot of gems. That's how we have that many gems in the first place, is because we do all of them whenever they're around.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
That's not a move anymore. That's why you take it from side to side, because sometimes it moves your move. It's not nice.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Apparently that's not a move either. We need to find some extra turns, otherwise we're wasting all that extra. There we go, nice. How many more do we need? One more. There we go, we got it. Okay, let's match. And we just end the map. You upgraded mech to 100? Yeah, mech is ever so occasionally used to. They did end up nerfing it a while back, though. We ended up making a unintentional random buff to Titan. They did an unintentional random nerf to mech, which was unfortunate. He used to have triple damage to burning, but he doesn't anymore. When he did have it, he was the best troop that had triple damage to burning, but that's not the case anymore, unfortunately. Because they got rid of it on him. And that was on top of the fact that he had that 20% extra scroll damage too, so he used to be able to hit really high. He actually at one point I would have probably said was one of them that was worth upgrading. He still kind of is. The biggest issue is there's not that many good mechs at all. Like, it's nowhere near like Titan's 50%. Even though it's the same premise as Titan 50%, there just isn't as many good troops underneath the mech category, unfortunately, compared to the Titan category, or compared to the giant category, I mean. I don't think we're going to be able to get enough turns. Never mind, I lied. That's exactly enough. Well, it was exactly enough until we got an extra one. And there we go. Good morning, Zeddicus! Welcome. Glad you could join us.
Extra turn.
Also, good morning, Dragon Ball Z fan. Welcome as well. What about Priest class? Priest class is pretty good, but it's only late game. But yes, Priest class is amazing. But you can only really get away with it if you have good mythic divines. If you don't have good mythic divines, the class is only average. And you can use it for a Guild War defend as well. And you can use it for invasions too.
Extra turn.
But the problem is if you don't own things like Infernus and Tetris and Ubestead and Divine Ishbala fully traded and other similar things, and Divine Protector ideally, though it's not required but definitely helps. But stuff like that are pretty vital for making Divine work.
Extra turn.
Did I reach level 1,900 yet? No, I did not. And currently we're making no progress towards it because we're doing treasure hunt. But no, we're currently sitting at like 10 levels away, somewhere around there. We're really close to it.
Extra turn.
But no, we don't currently have it. We'll probably have it this weekend, hopefully. Maybe not, but we'll be closer if nothing else.
Extra turn.
Yeah, I said earlier, probably by the end of this month, and I'm pretty sure we'll still be on track for by the end of this month for getting level 1,400. Not really that big a deal. I think we gained 1 armor for reaching it, which is pretty trivial. And it's not even 1 armor for everything, it's just 1 armor per hero. That's 1 more armor we didn't have. Also, in order to max out our stats, we do actually have to reach level 2,000. I believe Teknai is the only person in the entire game that has done that. But technically, Hero isn't maxed until level 2,000. The only problem with that is it's ridiculously hard to get there. And it's barely even any benefit. We'd have 6 higher stats if we were level 2,000 compared to being what we currently are. And I believe it's mainly just like 2 armor, 2 HP, 1 attack, and 1 magic. That's all that we would get within that range. Not even anything too special.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Yeah, level 2000 is magic, just like how level 1000 was magic. That makes sense, because it's the furthest one.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Hello, Kraken! Welcome. I'm gonna take that instead of the gold. I need to make sure not to convert those chests, because we do lose some loot. And while we aren't necessarily maybe doing it for that loot, it's still good to try to maximize it. Since we're here anyways. Try to get a little bit more glory and stuff and gems when we can. But yeah, when you're doing rush maps, you should almost never take 4 times of any resource bigger than bags. For bags you can, but anything bigger than that you don't want to take 4 times or 5 times 4. Otherwise you're just wasting your loot. Let's see, how much progress have we made in that time? Oh, good thing I checked, because we have tribute just sitting there. Very nice. What do we have? We're currently sitting at 66. Okay, so we did about 1/5 of them in that time. That's not too bad. That should go by a lot quicker this time. Maybe I'm just starting to get used to doing treasure maps again. Though whenever I like super focus on them, I can't look at chat, otherwise I lose time. Let me go look at chat though. Hello Kraken, if I didn't already say hi. I think I did. Also hello Exos. Is there a player on PS4 that's over 2,000? That's insane if they have. He'd probably be the 2nd highest level in any platform then. Do I know what stat point is at level 1,100? I do not, but it's either HP or armor. One or the other. Which one it is specifically, I do not know, but it's definitely one of them. Pretty sure it's armor, but it might be HP. That's definitely one or the other. It makes sense if armor was first, because armor is not as good as HP. Could have taken that 5 times. Oh no! I should have taken that 5 times. Because it would have made us get to 50. And we wasted all the excess because we didn't take it. Oh well. Not too big a deal.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
So you will do it all once and jump to 1? Let's see. I don't know what you're referring to with that.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
I could have taken it 4 times. Actually, I should probably be focusing more on getting these quick turns and then just paying attention when we're running low on turns so we can take extra turns if we need. Which we don't currently need.
Extra
Oops.
turn.
As I say that, it gives it to us. Fail. There we go.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Okay, what do we still need? I don't think we're going to be able to get enough extra turns in there. We'll try. Problem is trying and failing at that wastes time. It looks like we'll get it. Okay, we got it. There we go. Nice. Oops, I didn't need that one. That was a waste. Yep, that will be a waste too, so I'm not going to go for it. It's a trap. Okay. And there we go.
Extra turn.
Anyone know if someone has Hall of Guardian at 500? Yes, it's definitely been done. I don't know how many people have it, but it has been done. You don't think it's possible unless you have 1k horde? No, someone has done it before, and I don't even think they had 1k. They had it at like 200 or 300 or so. I think it was like 250 or something, or 200. For some reason, the 200s.
Extra turn. Extra.
But no, it has been done by at least one person. I forget who it was, but someone showed a screenshot earlier, like months ago. So I'm pretty sure more people have gotten it by now.
Extra turn.
The whole premise of winning Hall of Guardians is you need to kill the gargoyle as quickly as possible. Once you kill the gargoyle, you'll basically auto-win. Problem is getting that gargoyle killed. But once you get it killed, you pretty much just win.
Extra turn.
Because it has almost no damage other than attack. So as long as you make sure it doesn't take skulls, there's nothing it can do to hit you.
Extra turn.
Because gargoyle is 100% of the team's damage other than skulls. But yeah, Hall of Guardians is one of the hardest factions in the entire game to get completed on pure faction. That is for sure, though. I think if I try going for it, I think I'm gonna do All-Seeing Eye as my second level 500. But I'm mainly just waiting until they rework how pure faction works. Because they're definitely reworking it to some degree to make it easier. How specifically, we don't know. But there's no way they're keeping it the current way it is. They even mentioned that they're going to be tweaking it. It's currently way too difficult.
Extra turn.
And realistically, the only way to do it in the current state of the game is to get every faction to like level 2 to 300 forward. And then just go with it with pure luck. And eventually you'd get it. I do like the challenge though, but it is just a little bit too difficult for them. Or at least some of the factions anyways.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
What's the screenshot of what you post? Let's see. Is it someone with every faction done? Oh yeah, there's the screenshot of Hall of Guardians from November 18th. Yeah, that was the exact screenshot you showed me earlier. But, yeah, someone's had it done since November. Mid-November.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Okay, what do we need here? Grab that, grab that. I should have taken that top one. And you somehow get an extra turn. Go, 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 extra turn. Where are you? We need you. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Now do that a few more times. There we go, and that's all we need. Grab that over. Oops, I didn't need the extra turn. It's getting in the way of our progress. It's wasting time. We keep getting extra turns. No! Give us another one. Okay, at this point, we might as well just try going all the way then. We're just going to keep giving us extra turns. We'll try going for 40 then. Probably not going to reach it, but, oh no, we will. We need one more nice extra turn. There we go, perfect. Boom. Nice. Okay, I'm not going to try going any further than that, though. Exactly 40, perfect. Right on the dots.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Yep, should have taken it. Oh, good. It was still there. The 5 times. Okay, I'll take that over. I don't know. Do we go for 40? I guess we'll try for 40.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
That's right. We're almost going to try for 50. We'll just do 40 for now. Let's see. Can we get it? Yes. We just take that, and that should be all we need. Now we need to deliberately not get extra turns. Oh, you know what? We could have taken that 5 times earlier and just gone for it. I don't know. Maybe we still do. I just took one right there. I don't know if we're going to be able to reach it, but I guess we'll try. Okay, we'll be able to reach it. Probably. We need a few more still. Oh no, we're not going to make it. Gotta get all of them right now. Go. Nope. 47. A waste. It's a waste. Hey, we got Arcane from it, though.
Extra turn.
Let's see. There are some people with max renown you've reported in the last month or two. Yeah, max renown would be near impossible in the current state of the game. Even if someone was to optimally do every faction. I don't know if there's even been enough time to gain that much treasure. Unless you threw like a lot of gems at it. It'd be very, very unlikely to have absolute max renown. It is technically possible, though. I don't think anyone has done it legitimately yet. There's people who are probably pretty close, like 1 or 2 factions away. I don't think anyone has like legitimately maxed all of them. The amount of gems that would require is like really, really high. Like tens of thousands who've done that. If you had all hordes at level 100, yeah, that would be impossible. You would need most hordes at least 200 to get it done, if not higher. And even at 200, some factions are still ridiculously hard, like Hall of Guardians and Sea of Sorrows, and a few others. But mainly those two will be the most difficult in the current state of the game. Both of which require like more towards 250 or even 300 horde to get done properly. It could technically be done with lower, but it would require a lot of luck. But almost all pure factions require luck.
Extra turn.
Basically, you just have to keep throwing attempts until it eventually breaks through. Okay, I need one extra turn here. Oh, no, we don't. Never mind. We have exact turns. Oh, and as I say that, we get a free turn. I don't need that. Fail. There we go. Let's see. How's our progress doing? Oh, we didn't make any progress yet. Really? We're 1 away. 99. 1 short from the Valraven. But we're 2/5 the way there. Still got some more to go, though. About how far we currently are, we should be able to get it done in about the next hour or so, right? Let's see, if we have 150 left, we could do about, I forget, how many can we do per hour? Pretty sure we could do 150 per hour. Probably even more than that. That's how much we have left. I think we can get it done next hour. Gotta rush through. And then we don't need to do maps ever again for like an entire month, unless we feel like it.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Still find it funny how different the gameplay for this game mode is compared to anything else in this game. It doesn't exactly feel out of place, but I don't know, it's just so drastically different than how the rest of the gameplay is. It's pretty much the exact inverse of what you're supposed to normally do, in that most battles you're supposed to make sure you never give the enemy a good board, yet the entire premise of Treasure Hunt is basically making sure you always give the enemy a good board. Of course, it's just going to be yourself doing every single turn, so you basically just want to set yourself up for the best possible next turn, which is the exact opposite of what you do in the rest of this game, where you're trying to set up the board to be as horrible as possible when you end your turn, so that the enemy has nothing to take. Whereas in this, you're trying to set it up to be as best as possible, so that you can just take it instead. Which is a little bit bad that this is one of the best methods to farm in early game, because it probably teaches newer players to play him correctly. Like, at least Arena probably tells that, or teaches people how to play correctly. But this game mode is like the exact opposite of that. Get a lot of newer players play it because it's so good loot for early game. Yep, I should have taken an extra turn. I thought that was 40. Wasted the 9. Luckily we got 2 gems at least.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Again, we fell 1 short. It's always annoying. Go grab this real quick. I didn't mean to click out of it since we're here. Let's go grab our useless Valravens. Let's see, how many Valravens do we have? Or not Valravens, but Raven. We probably have like 156 copies or something. Oh, we did! We had 156, but then we grabbed 3. And now it's 159. That's funny. I have no clue how I guessed that correctly. Well, technically correctly. It was 156.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Which one of the delves is the easiest to max? Crypt. And the reason why Crypt is the easiest is because of Pure Faction. It has the easiest Pure Faction because you can use Lady Mirana to instant kill everything. It is possible to do Crypt at level 100 Delve. It's the only faction in the entire game that can be done at level 100. Optimally, you do need to raise it to almost 200 though in order to have enough HP to survive a hit from the final room. You need to have enough HP in order to survive the true damage hit of that one that does true damage. I forget his name, but that one red-purple that does true damage. You need to try getting enough HP to outlive him. But it is possible to do it at level 100 without that. I ended up technically doing it without it. I did have the Horde level to 188, but we did not have enough HP to survive the one hit from him. But we still ended up winning anyways, and there have been people that did that at 100 Horde. It's definitely possible. It just takes luck, a lot of luck. But optimally, you would want to level it enough to be able to outlive it, because it gets rid of the luck factor. And the reason why it works is Lady Mirana. She has a 10% instant kill with an extra 2% per purple, so she's normally hitting anywhere from like a 20 to 30% instant kill chance. And you just use a team of 3 Lady Mirana and Graveseer, and has the highest chance of any delve to get completed in Pure Faction. It's the easiest one. It's still ridiculously hard and really luck-based, but it's the easiest of all of them. I think it took me about a month of attempts to finally get it. And that was without the HP resistance.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Hello, Enoch. Welcome.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
But yeah, if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. Is next faction another 4-room? That's pretty annoying. I hate if they are going to keep making them 4 rooms. I guess because they kind of realized everyone, once they start doing Pure Faction, just rushes right towards the end. So they might be doing 4-room to kind of slow that down a little bit. I'm not sure. But yeah, it is a little bit annoying if they're going to keep making 4-room to final battle. Because it makes doing Pure Faction a lot less viable. But yeah, I don't even know what we're going to be doing then once the new faction comes out. Because I'm currently camping the 1. So now that we can technically camp Warrens, one thing that we could potentially do is, I don't know if I'd want to do that though, but next Friday, we could throw enough gems to get the entirety of the faction completed. I say I don't know if I want to do that, mainly because I'm pretty sure we will not make leaderboard off of doing that. We'll probably make like top 10, but we're very unlikely to actually make first, second, or third by doing that during that. I don't know, maybe not that many people will go for it, who knows. I'll have to check what the gem cost would be to do that, but I have a feeling it's going to be like 2,000 gems, which I don't know if that's really worth it. But we are starting to get a pretty big gem reserve, so I don't know, maybe we'll consider it. It'll give us definitely something to do that weekend, that's for sure.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
You have to like spam click on one of those to actually get past it quickly. Wow, 6 gems. And we got an arcane. Only 4 glory though, that's pretty pitiful.
Extra turn.
It's the only problem with seeing a high gem amount. That means everything else is going to be lower. because every single one of those means we're not getting a bunch of souls or gold or whatever else, gold, souls, or glory. Hello, moves? It's like, where's everything on the board? I think that was like one of the only moves there even were. Oh yeah, if you're just talking about room floor, if you're trying to get beyond 200, 300s and stuff, or even into the 400s, easiest way to try doing is with instant kill stuff. Dragon's Eye into an instant kill, or with a cleanup, or Ubistet into anything, or Megavore into anything, Devour Spam into anything. Stuff like that tends to be the methods you go for if you're trying to get a little bit deeper and you're struggling with it. Also, just making sure you have things like a Tangle, Mana Drain, and those two mechanics mainly. Cockroaches can cover both, but having those two mechanics can help make sure you don't die on various delves. Sylvania Mora and Cockroaches are particularly good for it. Because even in late game, some of the delves just hit really hard with skulls. All-Seeing Eye is probably the biggest offender of it, because it has skull spam and attack steal.
Extra turn.
Oh, we need to find one more extra turn so that we don't waste it. There we go. Good enough. It's a little overkill, but it's still fine. And there we go. So many extra turns. Okay, that's exactly how many we need. Now we just need to end everything. There we go. Exactly on the 40. That should almost be enough for next reward. Hey, we got 4 gems. Nice. Let's see. Are we 1 short again? No, we're 17 short. We're almost there. Almost there. I don't know why I keep checking. It's gonna be another like 45 minutes until we're done with this.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Also, once we're done with this, we will give out a redeem code. Once we are completely done with treasure hunt, we shall give out a code. That or when we're almost done, either or. Sometime around that area.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
You should start streaming only playing maps, and you'll play Dora the Explorer in the map song for the music. Oh, that would be really hilarious. I would watch that. I would never do that, though. I cannot put myself through that much torture. I don't mind doing these when we just have to do it for a few hours, like every now and then. And I probably wouldn't mind it either if they finally rework these to not be awful. But in the current state of the game, these things are just abysmal. at least for late game. Like, I enjoy doing these whenever I make a new account, because you actually need all the loot that you get from it. This late in the game there, just kind of almost a waste of time compared to other pieces of content that you could be doing. But they are technically worth it whenever there's an event for it, so that's why we're doing it now. The main reward is gems, but still, even though we have what feels like infinite gems, it's technically not infinite, so we do need to do things like this. Make sure that it stays a solid amount. Plus, it gives us more gems to spend on various stuff whenever we feel like doing more on a given event. Like, I'm still contemplating if next week for the new faction, if we're going to go all in. We might. I'm just concerned that there's going to be a lot of people going all in, which will make it so we don't get anything good off the leaderboard. But we'll see. Because the people who are actually trying for leaderboard are not going to be doing what we're doing. Like, if I'm going to try spending gems to go and get it up, we're going to be going all the way through the delves, and we're just going to be going all the way through the delves, as in we keep completing each one, whereas people who are going to be maximizing scores are going to camp like level 250 or so, stay there for several battles, and then finally move forward to 500, if they even move forward from 500. And they're going to have way more of a score since they camped to 1. Because you do eventually reach the point where you can't realistically do every room. I don't know, we'll see what we can do with the coloration. Maybe there will be a team that we could use that can easily get it done. But we'll see. We'll make that judge as it happens. And determine it from there. Also, if I'm slightly short on shards, I'd probably do it as well, just so that we get all the shards we need immediately. Because I do want to mess around with the mythic, or the legend, I mean, when it gets released immediately. We're going to have the mythic too, but the mythic's going to be irrelevant. Also, what is with this map? It is doing insanely good. We have 22 turns. I'm not even trying to do anything. It just randomly happens. Well, not randomly, but you know. Not really thinking much as to what we're taking. It's still going insanely high. I always find it funny sometimes that completely random maps that we just take whatever on perform better than maps I actually try on. It has to do somewhat with the fact that sometimes you get better starting board, but I still find that funny. But that's actually possible. We're still above level 200. I mean, 20, or we were. I don't have a drop for that. Take that over. We're starting to run out of rooms to even take moves. Okay, or at least quick moves. And we're gonna need to start taking some of this bigger loot. There's just too much on the board. Well, that was a really effective map. Looks like we're gonna hit 80. It was around 80. And we weren't even trying. We're almost gonna get a vault accidentally. Actually, we can. We can go take that right now. We can already get a vault without even trying. There's no point though. Vaults are actually less value than the red chest. 1 vault is worth less value than 3 red chests, which is pretty sad, but it is the case. Because maps are awful. Okay, that's the end of the line. And there we go. Wow, 91. Did we even get any gems for that? That's a fail. Okay, we got 2 gems. Barely, though. Which colors does the next faction use? Red and blue is the next faction. So that means we can use Megavore, but we can't use Weaver. Let's see. Megavore Apothecary is in play. Also, all the normal red high damage teams are in play. But yeah, I'm pretty sure something with Megavore, if we're gonna try going all the way, would probably be the way to go. An entire team focused around Hero first slot with like Mountain Crusher or Dragon's Eye, followed by Apothecary, followed by something, followed by Megavore, is most likely what I would use. What that something is, I don't know yet. Maybe Divinia. Probably something that functions off of Brown, maybe, I'm not sure. But that's probably the team I'd use for deeper delves, like 200 and deeper. Maybe even double Megavore, who knows? You can actually get away with, I've done it for a faction before, you can get away with Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, double Megavore. It's a little slow, but it's 2-8% chances to kill. It's really quick for the range where it can actually one-shot in. That doesn't last too long. Okay, what's with all really good maps all of a sudden? Like, we're doing the exact same strategy, yet the maps are just doing insanely better for no reason. Ah, I won that 5 times. Okay, never mind. No, I didn't. We hit exactly 60. That's fine. See, how's our progress going? 154. There we go. 50 gems, and the final stretch to go get the 8 gem keys we need. Very nice. Look at that. We almost hit 23,000 souls. I mean, souls. 23,000 gems, I mean. Only another 85 to go. I mean, 95. I can't do math. By the time we finish this, it should only be about another 80 or so, or less.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Unfortunately, the gem keys don't actually count as gems, even though they're worth gems.
Extra turn.
Only 4 million souls. Yeah, how many do you have currently? I'm pretty sure you're sitting on like 20,000 or something.
Extra turn.
You definitely have at least 10,000, that's for sure. You probably have enough to craft like 10 Dawnbringers. Which would be 1.3 million. I mean, which would be 13 million, I mean. Seriously, what's with all the good maps all of a sudden? We're just getting a random streak of insanely good maps. We're not even doing anything differently yet. They're going a lot further. Yep, store turn. Oh, very lucky. And there we go. There's a 250. There we go.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
You have more than 35 million souls. That is insane. Does your quick team actually use a soul farming troop then? Because how else would you have that many souls? Unless you go out of your way to actually soul farm. Or then again, it could be from you playing so many treasure maps. Because you do say that you played it a lot in the past. Or still do. Because while it's not the best of methods to gain souls, treasure maps do gain you like, I want to say 10,000 souls per hour. Depends a lot on what you're actually aiming for, but yeah, they do give maybe not 10,000. I think it's definitely several thousand. I don't know the exact amount though. But it does give several thousand souls per hour, which obviously a lot less than actual soul farming teams, but it's still a number more than what you would normally be getting from not soul farming at all. I guess it's probably from gnome events too, because those give an insanely high amount of souls per hour. Even if you're not doing anything soul farming related. It's still nearly 20,000 souls per hour without even soul farming. Just because of soul gnomes. Soul gnomes and glory gnomes are pretty broken. Like how many resources they end up giving. Because Soul Gnome is actually pretty much a quicker soul farming rate than early game soul farming teams. And Glory Gnome is so good that it's actually the quickest glory rate per hour. There is nothing that can possibly ever that's currently in the game that is quicker than farming gnomes and just happen to find glory gnomes. There's no rate of glory quicker than that. The quickest rate that you can naturally do for glory farming is about little over 1,000 per hour, like 1,500 at best. Yeah, if you're farming gnomes, you can get anywhere from like 2 to 3,000 glory per hour, approximately, off of just glory gnomes. Not even counting whatever glory you might be getting from if you're farming PvP or whatever else. So it probably is quicker in Explore just because you get more rolls. More potential chances to find them. But yeah, we should only have about another 15 minutes or so of treasure hunts. 15 minutes to half an hour, somewhere around there. And then we're done. And we can claim all of our loot. I'm not even gonna bother checking because I have a feeling we're still a while away. So I'll probably check in another 10 minutes just to see how far we are. And then we'll hand out a code.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
And funnily enough, the code does have treasure maps in it. 2 of them. Not that many. But for newer players who might not have that many, it helps. Though if you don't have that many, all you need to do is just complete out Zolkiri, get Tyree, and then just farm with Tyree. Pretty much anywhere. And just get a bunch of maps by doing that. Also, all skeleton key teams gain a lot of maps if you have it fully upgraded, which is pretty easy to do due to Delves. What is the Gnome and Explorer when it's not a Gnome event? Oh, what's the Gnome rate? Probably about a 1 in 30 chance or so to find one. I don't know exact drop rate. It's very uncommon though. And the chance for to specifically get a Vault Key is also way, way lower too. It's low enough that you're probably only going to see about 2 to 3 per hour.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Compared to what would normally be like 10 to 12. You can still see a lot of gnomes by doing Explore outside the event. It's just a slower rate of them. And they're still technically everywhere. It's just Explorer, of course, is the quickest. That and challenges. Yeah, another arcane. A useless one, though. Hate when they give pure colors.
Extra turn.
Most useless arcane of all. I'm pretty sure whenever they add a Tradestone sync, they're gonna sync the pure colors more than any of the others. Just because they're so much more populated than all the other ones. But populated in that less things use it, so you accumulate, although you get to save more of what you accumulate, because they're not really used for much.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Okay, there we go. A little bit of gems. 3 gems. In evasion, once you are to all towers, how do you tell which one gives sigils? There's currently no way, which is very unfortunate. It's something I mentioned several times in past streams too. I wish there was a way to see, but there is currently no way to determine which one gives sigils, which also means there's no way to determine which battle gives you sigils, so you don't know if you need to try hard on a given battle or not. But yes, there's currently no way to know, unfortunately. They might make a change in the future, but at this current moment, there is no way to check or know in any way.
Extra turn. 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 Extra turn.
Tradestone sync is a terrible idea. The vast majority of players still need tradestones for troops. A sync only caters to the top 1%. Well, it's not going to be like a super huge sync, but there are a lot of resources that do need syncs in this game, even if it's used for something pretty trivial. But that's mainly just because endgame has a lot of excess, because they never bother putting syncs in. So it's better late than never. But I don't know, I personally feel like they should be adding syncs for a lot more stuff, not just tradestones. And I don't think it will affect newer players too much, because whatever they're going to sync it into likely will not be a vital thing. Like, it's not going to be as useful as traits, most likely. But it's still going to be something, but it's not going to be anywhere near as useful. It's going to deliberately be something that you use all your access for. It's kind of like what the Soul Forge is. Like, there's very few things that a newer player would need to do in the Soul Forge that would cost an excessively high amount of souls, so that they can focus on actually leveling troops instead. And whatever they do with a tradestone sync will likely be the same way, where it would be somewhat beneficial to do it, but it's not, but it would be more beneficial to use it for the main purpose. So, like tradestones, it would still probably be best to trait actual troops, but if you have an excess of them, there'll be a way to actually use them instead of doing nothing with them. Actually, whatever they do with it will probably be in the Soul Forge as well. Whatever they do with tradestone sync. We need more mythic weapons. We do need more mythic weapons. They said they were going to add one every few months, but then they didn't. I don't know what exactly happened with that. I think their biggest concern was they were concerned with more Dawnbringers being added to the game, and that the weapon was just like so amazingly good. And it also broke Arena and other pieces of content in the game, but mainly Arena. But they were mainly concerned with the balancing of adding more, and they never bothered adding more, so I'm not sure exactly what's up with that. But their original plan was like a new mythic weapon every few months, but then they never did it. Cascades. Too bad that has no effect on anything in Treasure Hunt. If they ever do a rework to Treasure Hunt, they really do need to do something to make Cascades give you something at least. Like, I understand it not giving full value, but it needs to give some kind of value whenever you get a gigantic Cascade like that, because it's wasting a lot of 5 times and 4 times that you could potentially be getting. It's actually beneficial to never get a gigantic Cascade like that if you're trying to optimize for the best map you could ever do, because the more cascades you get like that, the more bigger resources you get without getting any extra turns. And the biggest issue with that is, for one, you're not getting any extra turns, but bigger resources congest the board more, the more that there is on the board. So it just makes it harder without giving you really any benefit, which is really counterproductive. Yep, I should have taken that extra turn thingy. Do want to try for the next little area. Don't think we're going to reach it though. Oh yeah, we're definitely not after that move. Fail. Oh well, 36. We'll take it. Okay, let's go do one more map and then we'll check how many more we still need to go. Probably still like another good 50 or so, but might as well check. Going to be able to reach the next milestone, so let's grab that, and down it goes. I gotta see what our progress is at. I got another arcane, another gem. Well, apparently we don't have it, but yep, that's about what we need. Another 50, another 59 to go.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
So yeah, we should be able to finish by the end of this hour, most likely. Be like 15 minutes or so. And then we're done with maps for about a month. Unless they add something in that time. It's going to make us have to do maps, which I highly doubt though. I don't think we're getting next patch until like March or so. Maybe even later. We still got some time. Well, souls and trait stones have about the same amount of abundance, I would say. Like, obviously their actual number isn't the same, but as far as like how much per hour they have in abundance, it's about the same amount, I would say. But the biggest issue is souls actually have a sink, whereas trait stones don't. That's the biggest difference between them at the moment. Even though it's technically quicker to get more soul value per hour than trait stone value per hour when you're actually doing like proper farming teams. But at least souls have a proper sync, kind of. Well, a proper sync. Soulforge was supposed to be the proper sync, but then it never really got fleshed out enough to be a proper sync, unfortunately. 1 second. Gotta turn that heater on. The weather keeps going from like average days to like ridiculously cold days. It's annoying. Today's kind of in between, but it still keeps going to like cold. I did go for a walk this morning though, and it wasn't too bad. Like it's that nice brisk, but it's still like bearable. What's the most souls per hour you can get nowadays? About 60,000 per hour. And the team that you would use for that is either Valkyrie, Triple Fairish Ra, or Dragon Soul, Double Fairish Ra with Umbral Wolf. And both of which gain about 50 to 60,000 per hour. I believe technically the Triple Fairish Ra is slightly quicker, but a lot of people don't have triple, and it's such a trivial difference. If it's better, it's like a few thousand per hour. It's barely even noticeable, if there's even a difference. You also need to have enough attack value to be able to one-shot with Fairish Ra on Warlord 2 difficulty, I believe it is. And if you can't, it does go slightly lower. Yeah, 50 to 60,000, with 60,000 or so being the absolute cap. Of course, it could technically be a little bit higher with VIP bonuses, I guess, and stuff. But realistically, around 60,000 is about the highest you can really get around there. That's still ridiculously high, though. Actually, I guess it can technically go even higher than 60,000. If you did soul farming with that team during a gnome event, it would be more towards 70,000 per hour. But that would only be during the gnome event. Where's our moves? I didn't want to take the chest, but apparently we have to. Nice little extra turn there. A problem is we need another one. Luckily it's sitting right there. There we go. But yeah, soul farming's been pretty broken ever since Ferris Raw.
Extra turn.
I think the quickest soul farming rate prior to him was like 30,000. Then it like doubled overnight when Ferris Raw came into the game. I'm actually really surprised they never nerfed Ferris Raw. Or that the fact that they even released it so good in the first place.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Why'd I take that? That was a waste. Should have just taken it for non-extra turn.
Extra turn.
Anyway, we'll do about a few more maps, then we'll check it again. We're still gonna be like 20 short or so, though.
Extra turn.
And then we'll probably go do delves a little bit and mess around in PvP or whatever else you guys might want me to go over, if there is anything.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
If you disagree, you can farm souls in a few matches with Ferris Raw to completely level up a troop. 12 plus. Oh yeah, of course. If you're comparing it like that, yes, it takes way longer to obtain the souls for, or it takes way longer to obtain the trait stones for a troop than it takes the souls. That's for sure. But the souls overall accumulate ratio-wise way higher than trait stones do.
Extra turn.
But that's just because you're gaining such a higher amount of them. Yeah, trait stones for full completion take way longer.
Extra turn.
But it doesn't mean there's not an excess of trait stones too. Because there's a lot of things that give trait stones that just become kind of trivial. I feel like one of the biggest ones is actually legendary tasks. Something that not everyone there necessarily has access to. But it's actually one of the reasons why late game players have such an excess of trait stones. Is they have this feature in end game that end game players don't even need.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
And it's feeding a lot of excess trait stones to late game that no one actually needs. Like everyone who has access to doing like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus legendary tasks per week, those kind of people don't even need the trait stones more often than not that they're getting from the task. And the trait stones make up like a fourth of the drops, if not more. I feel like that's one of the biggest contributor to late game excess of trait stones. And the fact that like literally everything in the game drops it, yet they're not needed anymore once you reach a certain point. Also, most soul farming methods you generally have to go out of your way for, whereas trait stone farming methods are just passively happen everywhere. But yeah, the amount of time it takes to trade a troop is very, very short. I think it's like 5. I mean, sorry, not trait. I mean, the amount of time it takes to level a troop is really short. It's like 5 to 10 minutes with proper farming methods. Maybe 15 at absolute tops. Whereas to farm all the arcanes for a troop It could take anywhere from like an hour to 3 hours. Legends tend to take about an hour, hour and a half. Or let's say this, epics take about an hour to about hour 15 minutes. Possibly hour and a half if it's really slow. A legend can take about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and a mythic takes like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Depends how lucky you get with arcanes. Shouldn't take more than 5 though. More often than not, unless you get unlucky with arcanes. And that's assuming you're doing explore the whole time for all of those values. Shouldn't have taken that. I don't know why I did. It's kind of a waste. We'll do one more map after this, and then we'll see our progress. We should be pretty close. Still probably about 20 away, but close. At what stage of playing this game do you think score? Oh, wait. What? I've read that wrong. At what stage of the game do you think it is the most fun? Early, mid, or end game? Probably early game. Early game is definitely the most fun. And part of mid game. That's not to say that late game isn't fun, but early game, when you don't have as much stuff to use and you have to figure out what you want to do with all your resources and stuff like that, I personally find to be the most exciting part, because you get to see a lot more diverse teams whenever you do anything. There's actually more of a challenge in everything you do because your stats are way lower, so you actually have to figure out ways to work around that. You have limited troops, so you're kind of forced to have to use what you have rather than having access to literally everything. And there's just a lot more strategy and stuff to actually look forward to while you're in early to mid game. But yeah, there's still plenty of fun stuff in late game. It's just the main thing that kind of takes away from it is pretty much every late game player has everything in the game. So sometimes you have too much choice, if that makes any sense. Like in early game, you deliberately have less choice, and technically they somewhat added that to late game too, and with all these game modes where you're restricted to a certain type, but it still comes down to like the same meta every single time. Whereas at least in an early game, you get to experiment with a lot more, and you actually technically get rewarded for it too. Whereas in late game, if you're not using whatever the most effective thing is, you're probably going to get destroyed by a lot of the other stuff because everyone is using whatever the most effective thing is. So if you're not, you're just going to be at a disadvantage. But yeah, I've made a lot of new accounts. I've probably made over the course of this game like a dozen new accounts here and there over the course of the game. It's always a lot of fun just starting from scratch and messing around with stuff. And there we go. Oh, I meant to go check our progress. But we're probably not there anyway, so we'll check after this map. Too bad it doesn't give you a notification when you actually do reach a tier. It does whenever you get mail or anything, but it doesn't actually count as mail, so it doesn't give you a notification when you've completed a milestone for the task. It'd be nice if they did. Actually, you know what? The alert system might actually have that on it. I'm not sure if it does. Don't think it does. Haven't actually checked. I should probably set it if it does. I don't normally use it when I'm streaming, though. Actually, lately I haven't really been using it much at all, the alert system in the game. It probably should be. I'd never use it while streaming just so it won't be distracting, though. I should start using it when I'm not streaming because it's pretty helpful. Let's take our tribute. If nothing else, we can go grab that. I've got a 14, so we get 13. I think we have a Yeti to go do. Let's see. Do we still need copies? Nope. We got it maxed. So we don't need that. Let's see. How's our progress going? We need... Yep, I was right. A 20. Or, well, 22 specifically. But, yep. Another 22 to go. Let's go do it. We're almost there. Then we'll hand out a redeem code.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
Which is the better? Level 70 Titan skill, Bloodthirsty, or Stone Mastery? Neither. It's actually the explosion every single time you take an extra turn. But if you were to choose either between Bloodthirsty or Stone Mastery, it depends heavily on your team. Some teams that are heavily Brown dependent do go for the +1 Brown, though more often than not, Bloodthirsty is the better option if you're just looking between those two. But if you're looking between all three, the explosion every extra turn is actually the best one of the three, more often than not. But every single one of those three are situationally the best. The explosion every extra turn is the most viable, though, in most situations. Or there are specific instances you bring out the other two. Just depends what your team is.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Do you remember your high score? You think it's 149 for you? My high score is somewhere in the mid 250s. The most recently high score we got was, I believe, last map event, where we ended up getting a, I think it was a 220 or so? I forget exactly what it was. It was low 200s. But the highest I ever did was mid 200s.
Extra turn.
Let's see. We need to move that over. Grab our gold. Was Zugoff made just to sync resources? Yes. Zugoff was made to sync gems, basically. Like many things in this game. But yeah, he's basically a gem sync. He doesn't actually really require gems directly. I don't think he does. If he does, it's only like 200 or something. But the way that he specifically syncs gems is it's really hard to get power orbs. And the only real way to get power orbs effectively is with gems. Either because it will give you a lot more orbs, or just because you can directly get power orbs from throwing an absurd amount of gems on any given event week. Normally requires several thousand to do. But yeah, he's basically just an end game kind of like, oh, what's the proper word for that? I forget the proper term. But just something really ridiculously hard for laking players to eventually achieve, just so they can show it off and everything. Vanity? A vanity item? I forget what it's called. There's a special term for it. But it's one of those things that you technically should never really go for because it's so kind of pointless. But people still get it because it's the hardest thing in the entire game to obtain. And it's eventually going to be required for 1 star on Karkaroff. Actually, pretty soon, too. I believe in a couple months, it's actually going to be required. There's still going to be another mythic added to the faction, I mean to the kingdom. But it will always be required to at least get 1 higher star on the kingdom. But it won't be needed for 10+ stars. There will be another mythic added that will allow you to do it, so that you don't necessarily need to get it. But it still counts as a troop. So if it's currently at 12 stars, it would be able to go to 13 if there was if you had Zugoff.
Extra turn.
You'll have a team of 4 Zugoffs. I don't think any person in the entire game has 2 Zugoffs. There'd be no point, because he only has a 1 cast ability. Once you cast his ability, none of your other Zugoffs can cast the ability. So there's no point in ever owning more than 1. There's barely even a point in owning 1.
Extra turn. Extra
He's basically Great Maul, but worse in most situations. Or some instances he's better, but he's pretty bad. I wonder if they're actually going to buff him once more people start getting him. Because relative to how hard he is to obtain, he is an abysmal troop.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Like, there are commons better than him.
Extra turn.
I think the best buff they could ever give him is give him that one trait that has immune to everything. The same one that the normal Zukov has.
Extra turn.
If they gave him that, he would actually be viable.
Extra turn.
Very situationally. But he would at least be viable. To some degree. Because the only other thing that has that trait that's player owned are Dooms. And Dooms are useless. What would you say is the oldest team that's still really good? Absolute oldest team that's still good? The absolute oldest team would probably have to be some kind of Crimson Bat Herdmaster team.
Extra turn.
Most likely.
Extra turn.
Maybe even throw Silent One in there. Silent One at one point was the most broken thing in the entire game. It's a lot less viable now. Silence used to mana drain as well. It was basically like mana drain on top of what Silence currently is. Plus, it used to not silence itself. You could still unsilence it by using Herdmaster and other similar things. But back in the day, you didn't need to do any of that. It just didn't get silenced.
Extra turn. Extra turn. Extra turn.
But as far as like, let's see. I'm trying to think of some other ones that are somewhat far back, but not that far back. The Great Maul team's still pretty nice. That's a little bit more recent, like 2 years ago. But Great Maul, Mercy, Inferno King, Shegra. That's still pretty solid. It's probably still one of the best Great Maul teams as well. Not one of the best teams in the game, but it's still pretty high up there. But yeah, most things way back ended up using the infinite gem spawn mechanics that used to be in the game. And anything that wasn't using that was centered around either Crimson Bat because it was so ridiculously overpowered, and because of how good true damage was at the time, because HP was so low, or Silent One based teams, because Silent One was just basically Famine plus Silence for lower mana cost. Famine didn't exist back then, obviously.
Extra turn.
Actually, now that I think about it, Mythics are about 2 years old now, aren't they? I believe in a few months they'd be 2 years old. I think they came in like May 2 years ago or somewhere around there. Yeah, Crimson Bat hasn't been around for forever. When the game first launched, it was one of the most broken troops because of how it functioned. But it's still pretty decent, and it has gone through a lot of phases. In the current state of the game, it's very situational just because true damage is a little bit underwhelming because of Divinia, Divine teams, and just the fact that HP is way higher these days than it has been in the past. But, I don't know, there's still really cheap. If you only own one Crimson Bat, you can build Soothsayer, Herdmaster, Soothsayer, Crimson Bat. It's a really cheap, effective team, and you can like 2, 3, or 4 cast your enemy. And unless you can 2 cast it, it's not really worth using, which is why you won't really ever see me using it. But it's still really good if you can 2 cast it. And many instances in early game you can still do that. And around that level range is actually pretty decent if you can actually get it done. Oops, could have taken one more turn and could have gotten the extra gem there. Oh well.
Extra turn.
Other than that, in late game, the only thing Crimson Bat tends to get used for in late game these days is a Divine counter. You can use it in first slot with like a Def in your team in order to instantly be able to do 2 times damage to everything, and use it as a Divine counter. Not only does it do 2 times damage to Divines, it can also do 2 times damage to literally everything in the game. It's the only thing in the game that can do 2 damage to everything. I don't believe there's a single other troop that can. There's quite a few that can do almost 2 times to anything, but Crimson Bat can do literally 2 times to anything due to the fact that it's one of its 2 times is based on an enemy missing HP, and every single troop in the game is capable of missing HP. There's nothing that is immune to that currently.
Extra turn. Extra turn.
Yeah, if Divines ever become good again, all you have to do is just run Skull Spam Crimson Bat. It's the easiest way around it. And it kills through them pretty quickly. Not too many Divines actually have high Skull mitigation, oddly enough. And even if they did, it's hitting so high at 4 times damage that doesn't really matter. Alright, let's go check after this battle and see how much progress we still need. We might already be done, who knows? Alright, let's go check. Pretty sure we have a little bit more to go, but let's check. No, we did not. Maybe we might have actually been doing excess. Oh, we didn't even need that last map. But there we go, 8 gems, or keys, I mean. But there we go, okay, all completed. We still need another 57 gems if we're gonna reach that, but we'll probably have that by the end of today by tributes. But there we go, let's hand out a redeem code. And then we'll mess around with Dell's PvP and all that, or whatever else you guys might want me to show. Well, let's go hand out a code real quick. But yeah, there we go. Very nice. Let's see. Edits. Mark it down. We know we used it. Let's see, where do we put that? Get that. Boom, boom. Mark it. Copy, copy. Save it. And put it over in here. Put it there. Boom. Put it there. Boom. Backspace. Refresh. Copy again, copy the whole thing, and there you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code is found underneath your settings menu, whatever your games is there. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters, and it gives the same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, and 2,500 gold. And use that on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section, right there. Just click that link. Either or goes to the same location. There you guys go. Works on every platform except for the 2 console versions. Here's a question for me. What would you say is the old... Oh, never mind. I already answered that. Yeah, no problem for the code, everyone. You've been told from you guys in the guild that you're leveling too fast. You're level 360 in 2 weeks. I don't know. Leveling fast isn't that big a deal these days. It used to, in the past, be a pretty big deal if you level too quickly. But in the current state of the game, I don't think it matters as much. It does make PvP slightly harder, but and possibly even Arena slightly harder. But other than that, it doesn't really affect much. And when I say slightly, I mean ever so slightly these days. But the only real drawbacks is basically PvP and Arena being slightly harder, because you're going to naturally find slightly higher level opponents the higher level you are. But in the current state of the game, I don't think that really matters too much. It used to in the past, but with current matchmaking, it makes very minimal difference. Anyways, let's go, and I guess we'll go do Delve real quick, just 1 for now. Do the other 2 later. But yeah, we're almost at 200 shards, or 2,000 I mean. We need to keep getting those up. We're still running this place. Hopefully this is a treasure room. Yes, it is. That's the exact treasure room we need. That's that really good one. Oh, do we have triple treasure room? Oh, we do! Look at that. Triple treasure room. It's been a while. This is why this delve is so good. We got 1 treasure room, 2 treasure rooms, and 3 treasure rooms. And one of them is a Cedric treasure room, too. The best of all of them. It actually does give more loot than any of the other ones. This is the 1.3 and the 1.15, right? Yep. Okay, so we'll take this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And then we'll do the smaller treasure room, bigger treasure room, and then end in the middle. So let's go do that, right? Just that. We'll do it with Key Team, because we have Cedric, so we might as well utilize all that gold. Get the best gold rate in the game. And now we can finally use the controller again. It feels weird playing a normal game after just doing maps for that long. So different. Oh, I'm actually going to wait till we cast again. Here we go. Is there any benefit to the order you do the rooms? Yes, there's a huge benefit to the orders. Well, it's either small or huge. but it can affect the amount of resources you get. Also, whenever it's during one of the events, it can also affect the amount of points you get. More often than not, you do it in multiplier order. Well, let's say this: when it's an event, you do it in multiplier order. When it's not the event, you do it in resource order. So basically, you take the highest multipliers that are low resources, and then you work to the high resources that are low multipliers. And you can technically always do it in resource order as well. The only reason you might not do it necessarily for events is it does optimize the points a bit better. But if you care more about the resources, you can just always do it in resource order. It's a little bit hard to determine resource order specifically exactly sometimes. A lot of the smaller rooms you just kind of have to ignore because the amount of time it would take to figure out what resource order is for them is just way too long, unless you have all of them memorized, and I highly doubt anyone has literally every reward for every room memorized. I have a good number of them memorized, but not to a point where I can do the math quick enough in my head. The only ones you really need to worry about are the bigger ones like treasure rooms, where it actually matters a little bit more. But all the smaller scraps you don't really need to pay much attention to, because it makes such a trivial difference between them. But yeah, basically you take multiplier order, but you just make sure the bigger resource ones you do last, so that all the multipliers you build up, so that you can use it for the final rooms. So even though the final room will always be the same loot, every room prior to that could potentially be more or less loot. So the reason why we say the treasure room for last specifically is we're building up a multiplier. Whatever that multiplier is what this value right there gets multiplied by. Each one of these gets multiplied by that. So the higher that is, the more these will be. So obviously we want to take these smaller rooms that give less rewards, that have higher multipliers first, so that those give more reward, basically. And you always want to take the higher multipliers first, just because every subsequent room just gives better rewards. Like you can see, this reward is almost the exact same as this one, yet this multiplier is a bit better. But yeah, there's a lot of math you could do with it to try to figure out the exact. I think some people might have even made programs for it too. I don't personally use them though, just because it'd kind of be a waste of time by the time you'd figure it out. But it's mainly treasure rooms that it only makes a really huge impact for. All other rooms is relatively trivial, while it would have some impact on it. Also, whenever you see a Cedric room, you should always take it as immediately as possible, especially if you're using a gold team. It boosts your gold by an absurd amount. It was fixed 2 patches ago, and it just gives amazingly high gold. It's actually the highest gold rate in the game. It only lasts for the entire delve, though, unfortunately, but it's insanely good gold rate. You can get a few thousand within, like, some battles can be like 30 seconds for a few thousand gold. Like right here, we're getting 2,000 plus 550. So about 2,600 in like 30 seconds or less. Oh yeah, let me take the smaller one first. Take the bigger one. Even though it's less of a multiplier, we're so close to the end of the delve that it's actually better taking the smaller one. I believe first. I'm not actually fully certain on that. The way we're currently doing it though. Regardless, we already got so many other multipliers that it makes very little difference either way. Oh, we got a map, nice. Okay, and then we take the other treasure room and then take the final medal. Key down before he def marks us. Get our red so we can go get over mana back, and then instantly kill it as soon as we get full mana. Fortunately, we didn't cast 8 rounds, so luckily the extra turn, and he's already dead. So much gold. Okay, I'm gonna take the final room. Our team, but it's not really gonna matter. Never mind, he's not even gonna get it. Perfect. So it wouldn't have mattered even if he did. There we go. And that's that. Hey, we keep getting those ingots, which is kind of annoying because I need the shards. But there we go. Let's see. Do we have another treasure room? Probably not. Nope. Well, we have a treasure room, but you know, not the right treasure room. We don't have a Cedric. Anyways, we'll worry about that later. But yeah, let's go do some PvP, I guess, and mess around with some other stuff the rest of the time. Oops, what is it doing? No, I don't want quests. But there we go. Okay. Claim our PvP thingy. And then we'll mess with Key. I do need a level Frostmage some. We haven't really been able to get much of it done this stream. I guess we could go farm Explore some maybe or something. But yeah, still need to make more progress on that. The maps, we barely got any of it done. Good, he didn't heal. Double. Very easy kills. And we get a bunch of gold for doing so. Oh, Glory Gnome. Ooh. That's very nice. Oh no, we're frozen on green because of... Yeah, that Glory Gnome escapes. That's so sad. Let's see. We'll take that over. Good, we got Key. Oh, but I don't have Greed. Fail. What do I do about this? We're not frozen on yellow. We can grab that. We'll take our gold. Better not get full mana. That's good. That should be enough to kill. Definitely after that skull and dead. 1,000 glory. That's a whole hour worth of glory, pretty much. Very nice. Look, we don't even need a gnome event to get 1,000 glory. I still can't believe they made Glory Gnome that good. It's easily, hands down, without even within question, the best gnome in the game. It's not even close. Okay, what do we grab? Grab some greens. We'll take a skull. Hopefully we'll get red out for that. We can just go for green instead again for a second time. Unfortunately, that's not enough mana because the other one didn't surge. Double kill off of that. Oh no! He's using a Lust team. That's actually really bad with Key. Key is insanely bad against Lust, particularly Summon Lust. I think we actually just lost. Fail! Yeah, Summon Lust is really annoying. Oh, I wish he would have went to skull there. We might be able to still win. Throw that down. He can't actually charm us anymore because of our positioning, so we're somewhat safe from that. Skull here so he doesn't. That does nothing because we're in position where he can't do anything. And now we need to find some browns so we can win. Fortunately it didn't surge. We'll take skull. Okay, get another summon annoyingly. Let's see. Well, he can't actually kill us with anything. Normally this team runs Sunbird, but he either didn't have it or we killed it immediately. He was running in first slot. Normally people put the Sunbird at second slot and put the Lust in first and last, so that the Key wouldn't hit it. That or they put the hero in last and they put the Lust in the middle, so that one of the Lusts would at least live, while still keeping the Sunbird. Okay, where are all the browns? There we go. It's so easy. All I need is like 2 little keys, or even 1 key in a skull. We'll end up doing it too, depending on the order that we get it in. But okay, we'll take this. We'll take a skull. Oh no, we won't. Okay, well we'll take that. I'll kill that. No, bandit! What are you doing? Okay, we'll take this brown. Somehow still not full mana. Let's see. We'll take that over full mana. Should kill the hero. No bandits. Good. And now we just need to find 1 skull and we win. Okay, easy enough. There we go. Dead. Oh, that battle was a lot more annoying than it needed to be. Way more annoying. Hey, we got a Cedric room. Hey, it's against herself as well. Mirror team. Hello, Jor. Welcome. Welcome. Why not summon Bombots with Cedric? They block Key. He summons brown Bombots, which get in the way of us getting Skeleton Key mana, which is the main reason why I'm not. There we go. We're just shutting off the heater. Okay, we'll grab that. Take a purple. Get a little bit more gold. That should be kill range because we got the skull there. Oh, no, it looks like it was kill range regardless. Nice. Then we Key again and dead. And he's not dead, but we just grab the skull. Oh, and a bandit. And more Key will do it. So we already got max gold. And he dies off of the Key. Yeah, we got mail as well. I think that was defend reward or revenges. Yeah, it was defend reward because of revenges. Gotta love PvP gold though. It is so ridiculously high. Like 3,000-4,000 per battle. The only problem is some battles can take a little bit longer, which hurts the average. But, so it's pretty high. Okay, we're in a bit of a weird situation. I'm just gonna take the red for now. I'm gonna wait till this thing cleanses, but oh well, we'll take it now. Oh, it should take it as blue first. Oh, we were not frozen on it. Yellows, but it's not too big a deal there. We'll take that, get our kill. Fortunately, it gets a summon, but luckily that's still in kill range. Throw another one down. And those two should be low enough their ability that one key will take it, and dead. And another 4,000. Or a gigantic stack of gold. We're currently sitting on quite a bit of gold, too. We're currently at, like what, 22 million, 20... Oh! You know why we have so much gold? I need to go contribute to the guild. I was wondering why it was so high. I don't think I contributed to the guild yet. Let me go do that. That's a fail. Let me go do that. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. Normally I only wait because the guild's not full. But we've had a full guild for almost a month now. Without really losing anyone. Luckily. So I might need to start kicking some people soon. But we'll see. Anyways. Yeah, our gold amount. Let me go and contribute like 2 million to the guild. Because I haven't done that yet today. Or this week, I mean. Guild. Let's see, who else hasn't done it? I go claim all my seals. We already have 40,000 though, but still want to claim them. Let's see. Ellen! You keep doing exactly what I'm doing. I don't even think she's here right now, or he. But Ellen! Go throw your gold. Harry. Let me make sure he does as well. And those two will get around to it. Okay, anyways. Let's go do our gold. Contribute. 2 million. And there we go. And we still have over 20 million. Okay, so let's see what we get from those two legendary tasks. Anything nice? There's a defend reward. Oh, we actually got a vet key off the defend reward. Nice. We hit this 60th. But let's see, what do we have in this? Even more event keys. 4 glory keys, 1 gem key, 4 events. And what's in here? Useless trait stones, 8 gem keys, and 100 glory. There we go. That pet we don't need to do. Let me go to dungeons real quick before I forget. If you lose a battle in which you killed a treasure gnome, you don't get its rewards, right? That is correct. If you win a battle where you kill a Val Raven or a treasure gnome or anything like that, you will not get the reward from the gnome. Anything that has a bag, you have to actually win the battle in order to get the reward. If you lose the battle, you lose all the rewards. So yes, you do have to win the battle. Otherwise, you get nothing. Hey, level 87. One step closer to max Frostmage. This is also one step closer to maxing all the hero classes. Slowly but surely. Not in any rush for it, but I do want to get it done eventually. Come on. You're using this team with 2 Cedrics. Let's see. Wait, what was the rest of your team? Key team with 2 Cedrics and Thief class. What's your other troop then? Egg Thief or Greed? But yes, you can run this team with 2 Cedrics. Bronze Lock Pistol version of this team runs it with 2 Cedrics. I personally don't with this one, just because I feel like it runs a bit smoother, having the mana accumulator and the instant gold. But yeah, we can technically do it without Greed. We actually don't need the Greed. It's just mainly there to give us a big burst right off the bat. I think overall we do win slightly better with this though. And I'd rather have it instead of 2 Cedrics. If we're running Bronze Lock Pistol, we can definitely get away with 2 Cedrics. But without 2 Cedrics, I mean without Bronze Lock Pistol, I don't think it's as worth it. I think overall we do gain more loot from this just because it does get quicker wins. Even though you can do it the other way around. One nice benefit of double Cedric though is it does allow you to always one-shot. You would basically almost never not one-shot. Because max capacity of gold would definitely be enough to one-shot anything in the game that the player owns, even in late game. But luckily, we can still get one-shots sometimes. Depends what your stats are. Oh, did he just gain barrier, really? Yeah, he did. So I'm gonna have to waste that turn and control that. Heh, lamp. Should we go for it? No, we'll go for a real battle. It's always funny when you see someone with 4 triggers. Oh no, Thief Class, go! I need a way to poke it. What Thief would normally do. Got a kill. With King Irongut, can you think of any more viable teams that make him effective in the top slot? You would almost never use him in top slot. And is Stargazer the best for his attack? Yes. If you're trying to give him quick attack, Stargazer is currently the best option for it. You don't necessarily need to do that, though. You can also just do mana spam instead. You don't necessarily have to try getting an attack buff on it. But if you are to attack buff it, Stargazer is the quickest attack buff in the entire game. Because it starts with full mana. It's the only thing that can attack buff something else that does it on turn 1. There are a few other turn 1 attack buffs, but it doesn't do it on a different troop. It does it on itself. Like that, and I think something else maybe. But yeah, Stargazer is the best thing for it if you're looking to burst attack rush. I personally don't advise using that mythic in first slot though. It's normally better to have like a Mountain Crusher or something else in front of it. And just run it with infinite loop to just devour everything. Doesn't even need to be infinite, just anything that gives it mana effectively. Okay, this is a really weird battle, because this board is giving us nothing of relevance. We're just going to use that. We'll take our full mana right there. Also denies him some coloration, because he needs that on the board. Who instead actually gets kills! Luckily, the 2 that we have remaining can solo this entire battle. It's not that big a deal, but still annoying. We're going to do that one more time to get our second egg, just in case. And he's dead. Just take that and then that down. Hey, a Glory Gnome. It's not a real Glory Gnome, unfortunately. But it's still a Glory Gnome. I guess he still has that set from last week's event. Because last week's event, I believe, was Kill Blues. So he still has it set from that. And the reason he didn't switch it is because this week he didn't have anything. It was just treasure hunt, so there's no defend that you could possibly set that would benefit people. So I guess he just didn't bother changing his. What did you just post? What on earth did you just post? Let's see. Impact. Kill the enemy team. Can only be used 1 minute into battle. Costs 1,000 souls. So basically it would never be used. Ha! Because almost every battle is less than a minute. Maybe not every battle. Catapult. Kills 2 random enemies and stuns 2 random enemies. Can only be fired every 30 seconds. Costs 500 souls. Trying to add those soul sinks. Gosh. That's not how you do it. I still wish they would add a pet food sink that would give higher stats for pets, though. Which is kind of like that, but not exactly. I don't know. What you just posted reminds me of that, for whatever reason. I have no way to get rid of his barrier. Oh, wait. Never mind. That was blessed, not barrier. Or wait, what even was that? Never mind. I don't know. Whatever it was, it's not there anymore. Let me actually double check in the stream. What was that? Let's see. Definitely looked like barrier. Might just been blessed, I guess. Or my eyes are going crazy. Did it even have anything? That's weird. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. Why did I think I had barrier? I guess I was looking at... Oh, it did have barrier. Oh, that's hilarious. It did have barrier for like half a second, then did a bit of a visual glitch. But we took off the barrier with the 5 damage, but then there was a slight visual glitch as it was like destroying something or something. But yeah, that's what it was. It did have barrier, but it got removed immediately. It ended up getting a barrier on it because his hero places barrier on an ally whenever an ally dies. And then our 5 damage got rid of his barrier. But then there was like a slight visual glitch for a second. Funny. But that's what happened. So we did have a barrier, but it only lasted for like half a second. Or more like a second. And that reminds me, how many ingots do we currently have? Let me go convert them all, except for the smallest one. I've still been hoarding them for no reason. For absolutely no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that it costs a bunch of souls to convert them otherwise. Let's see. Where is it? Convert all those. Wait, is that the lowest? Yeah, because we're not going to convert these. But anyways, let's go and get all these. Let's see, we'll grab all those, get all the epic ingots. And that's as far as we need to go. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, there we go. Anyways, yeah, we don't need to go any further because legendary and mythic ingots are horrible. How many epic ingots does they even bring us to these days? Let's see, rarity, actually, yeah, we do by rarity. Rarity and base rarity are the exact same things because weapons can't be upgraded to higher rarity. Where are they? I could also just check the other thing. But, we have 7? No, we only have 6 weapon upgrades for epic weapons. That is pretty pitiful. And the problem is, almost all of them are useless. Yet there's so many of them. We're not even, I don't even think we're 1/4 the way done with epics. Actually, you know what? No, we might be half. No, not even half. Let's see, how many are there? There are, what's the easiest way to count these? Let's see, 6, 8. Let's just do 8, 16, 24, 36, no. 32. Yeah, 32. 40. 1, 6, 47. There's 47, and we currently have how many upgraded? Plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? So we can currently upgrade 10 out of 47. Yep, we're not even halfway there. Or sorry, it was a 7. Whatever it is, we're not even halfway there. We need to upgrade another, or we're not even 1/4 the way there. We need to upgrade another 2 epic weapons in order to have 1/4 the way there. That is pretty sad. Yeah, we're almost all the way done with mythics. We only need 4 more for mythics, and legends are pretty close too. I don't know how many more we need, but they're pretty much just as close as mythics are, as far as the ratio of which we need to complete them. Anyways, that's that. Are orbs of power only craftable, or do they ever drop from major orbs? They cannot be dropped from major orbs, but there is one other way to obtain them, though it's really unrealistic because there's only 1 available or 2 available or 3 available per week or so. But it's from various related events. So for example, invasions. If you make a number 1 on the invasion leaderboard, you get 1 power orb. There's also other game modes, basically any orb that has that same leaderboard. So things like the Tuesday events have them, things like the class events have them, things like the weekend-long events like Bounty Hunter and a few others have them. But those are the only instances you can physically get a power orb as a drop. The only other way to get it is to craft in the Soul Forge for a ridiculous amount of resources that aren't worth it. Yeah, but someone else did a legendary task. Very nice. Another 8 gem keys as well. Keep accumulating them. And we have quite a decent amount of gem keys to throw. Hopefully I don't jinx that by getting really bad luck. But, yeah, we have 1,130. And by the time it comes around on next Friday, we should have over 1,200, hopefully. So that should be a pretty solid amount to go through towards the new mythic that's coming next Friday. It's not a good mythic, but it's still a mythic. It's also a new stun option, which might be viable in some very, very occasional instances compared to other things. But overall, it's going to be pretty underwhelming. But we'll see it, test it, go from there. Hello, Tintin. Or wait, how do you say that? Titan. Welcome. Yep, you came right before the end. Glad you could join us. Yeah, we're probably ending pretty soon, so if anyone throws any other questions or anything, let me know. Yeah, we got done Bounty Hunter. I mean, not Bounty Hunter. We got done Treasure Hunt, and now we're just basically messing with PvP. Still trying to level Frostmage to max. We're at 87 right now. Making progress. Still not there yet, obviously. After Frostmage, we're probably going to work towards Orb Weaver to max, because we only need 5 levels, which can easily be done in like a day or 2. Probably even shorter. It could be done in like a few hours, really, if all we did was farm it and nothing else. Grab all that, take our red there, get all the purples away, which we don't even need that much. We even have -1 purple with the banner we have set right now. We'll do that. Should be enough to kill even without the extra damage. I don't have mana for anything, so let's take that. I'm actually gonna take this because that should be able to full mana it right now. And cast it, and that's dead. Oh no! How did Neither die? Not good. Well, we'll do that. Do that again. And then he's dead. Unless he wins right now somehow. Oh no! He summoned. Okay. And then oh no! We can't even skull him. But we can do that. Which still kills him. Because it doesn't matter what our base attack is. That still does the damage of the skulls, regardless of what our attack is. How about an effect booster pack that lasts a day? 3 times damage from all effects applied to enemies? No. Though they did say that they might be adding pets that might be increasing effectiveness of effects. Like a pet that increases the effectiveness of burning, and a pet that affects the effectiveness of poison, and stuff like that. Those would be really strong pets though. They basically have to make like a mythic category of pets or something. Because those would be super strong if they ever added those. But it was something that they did mention as a possibility, maybe. They're basically high rarity pets. Like every pet is currently the exact same rarity, but they might eventually add ones that are stronger than the average pet. Oh no, I needed that. He could actually win. If he gets 1 more Yagoi, we actually lose. That's where we get full mana right there and dead. Yeah, did anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I think I'm going to be heading out for now. We'll be back in 7 hours from now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mainly just going to be doing the, not even doing invasions, actually. We'll just be farming up Frostmage a little bit, doing delves, and pretty much just a normal. We'll have redeem code and stuff. Hopefully by then we'll have 23,000 gems as well. We're pretty close to it. But, did I finish all the maps? Yes, we have finished all the maps. We did get that done. Basically every objective this week we now have completed. The only other things we really have to do are whatever the dailies and just whatever other small things we want to farm, like Frostmage and, well, mainly that. That's my only main side project right now as far as leveling up in this game. But yeah, this weekend I should have plenty of free time, as well as possibly later today, so we should have some videos going up for all the new related class stuff that I've been meaning to get down. Am I streaming tonight? Yes, we always stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night. That's 7 hours from now. Well, specifically 7 hours and 15 minutes from now. But yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night. There's very rarely do we ever cancel that. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and the rest of your week. And I will catch you all later. Goodbye, everyone.